export assistance in India. The Export-Import Policy 1992 to 97 brought about many fundamental changes in India's external trade policy. It gradually laid the foundation of globalization of Indian economy by initiating liberalization and making Indian industries to face competition from foreign MNCs. Until 1992, Indian markets were highly protected and the Indian government used to give many incentives to the Indian exporters. But many of these incentives were withdrawn by the 1992-97 and subsequent policies. In this lesson, we are going to discuss various aspects of export assistance in India. After studying this lesson, you should be able to understand importance of export assistance, export promotion measure in India, export house or trading house. Export promotion was accorded a very low priority during the initial program of economic development in India. During the 1950s and almost up to mid-1960, export promotion was not at all considered as an essential element in India's economic development process. Easy and adequate availability of external assistance from World Bank and other international agencies as well as developed countries has provided India with more than adequate amount of foreign exchange for financing development as well as essential imports. Because of the large size of the domestic market in India, import substitution rather than export promotion was considered as a more useful strategy for India's economic development process. Similarly, during the period of the first 3 5-year plans over 1950-51 to 1965-66, Indian economy was in a formative stage. Consequently, India's capacity to export manufactures or industrial products was extremely limited. However, after 1965-66, the aid flows to India were substantially reduced. Consequently, for the first time, India was made to depend significantly on her exports for acquiring foreign exchange to meet her needs of essential imports. Moreover, by the second half of 1960s, a number of industries, especially in engineering, chemicals, leather, marine, and other sectors have reached a stage from where they were looking for an opening in international market. Moreover, with the increasing burden of debt servicing on one hand and the situation of aid fatigue on the other, exports have now emerged as the only viable source of meeting the foreign exchange needs of Indian economy. Hence, the feasibility of financing almost entirely depends upon the growth in Indian export. The assistance extended to Indian exporters include import facilities for exporters like duty-free replenishment certificate, duty entitlement passbook scheme, and export promotion capital goods scheme. Duty exemption schemes are duty drawback, excise duty refund, and octroi exemption. The fiscal incentives include exemption from income tax and sales tax exemption. The marketing assistance includes market development assistance and market access initiative. The supplies of raw materials include Industrial Raw Material Assistance Centers scheme and back-to-back inland letter of credit. The Government of India has established a number of organizations like IIFT, IIP, EPCs, etc. to promote and expand export trade. Import policy of India has made especially liberal provisions for easy import of capital goods of all types. Accordingly, imports of machinery and equipment are allowed without import license. In addition, special provisions have been made for import of capital goods at a concessional rate of import duty. Export Promotion Capital Goods (EPCG) scheme has been introduced for liberal import of capital goods. New capital goods, including computer software systems, may be imported under the Export Promotion Capital Goods Scheme. Units undertaking to export their production of goods may be set up under Export Processing Zones Scheme, Export-Oriented Units Scheme, Special Economic Zone Scheme, Electronic Hardware Technology Park Scheme, or Software Technology Park Scheme. Such units may be engaged in manufacture, services, trading, development of software, agriculture including agro-processing, aquaculture, animal husbandry, biotechnology, floriculture, horticulture, pisciculture, viticulture, poultry, sericulture, and granites may export all products except prohibited items of export. As regards making available the supplies of imported raw materials to the export sector, the import policy provides the scheme of duty exemption and duty remission. The duty exemption scheme enables import of inputs required for export production. The duty remission scheme enables post-export replenishment or remission of duty on inputs used in the export product. As laid down in the Foreign Trade Policy Procedures, Ministry of Commerce, Government of India, the merchant as well as manufacturer exporters, service providers, export-oriented units, and units located in special economic zones, agri-export zones, electronic hardware technology parks, software technology parks, and biotechnology parks shall be eligible for status of export and trading houses. As laid down in the Foreign Trade Policy Procedures, Ministry of Commerce, Government of India, the merchants as well as manufacturer exporters, service providers, export-oriented units, and units located in special economic zones, agri-export zones, electronic hardware technology parks, software technology parks, and biotechnology parks shall be eligible for status of export and trading houses. Applicant shall be categorized depending on his total FOB for deemed exports, export performance during current plus previous 3 years taken together upon exceeding limit below. It is important to note here that exporters in small-scale industry, tiny sector or cottage sector, units registered with KVICs or KVIBs, units located in northeastern states, Sikkim and Jammu and Kashmir, units exporting handloom, handicrafts, hand-knotted or silk carpets, exporters exporting to countries in Latin America, CIS, Sub-Saharan Africa, units having ISO 9000 series or ISO 14000 series, WHOGMP, HACCP, SEI, CMM Level 2 and above status granted by agencies listed in Appendix 6 of HBPV1, exports of services and exports of agro-products shall be entitled for double weightage on exports made for grant of status. Double weightage shall be admissible to merchant as well as manufacturer exporters. Double weightage shall be admissible to merchant as well as manufacturer exporters. However, a shipment can get double weightage only once in any of the above categories. Transfer of export performance from one to another is not permitted. Therefore, disclaimer system shall not be allowed for counting of export turnover. Exports made on re-export basis shall not be counted for recognition. Exports made by subsidiary of a limited company shall be counted toward export performance of limited company for recognition only if limited company has a majority shareholding in subsidiary company. These are export organizations that have done and have the potential for making sizable exports. In view of the big contribution they make for the export development of the country, they enjoy a certain status and some special privileges. According to the EXIM policy, merchant and manufacturer exporters, service providers, export-oriented units, unit located in special economic zones, agri-export zones, electronic hardware technology parks, software technology parks, and also biotechnology parks are eligible to apply for the status of a Star Export House. Star Export Houses replace the various categories of export organizations like export houses, trading houses, star trading houses, and superstar trading houses. The criteria for getting recognition as Star Export House will be the export performance during the current plus the 3 previous years as per the details shown on the screen. Now let us check the progress by telling whether the statements given here are right or wrong. Free copies of bills of entry are submitted for custom clearance of import cargo. Right or wrong? Wrong. Bill of entry may be filed 30 days in advance of the expected arrival of the concerned cargo. Right or wrong? Right. In case there is a doubt, the customs officers will calculate assessable value by deducting insurance and freight elements. Right or wrong? Wrong. Before we end, let us briefly revise what we have studied till so far. Export promotion has assumed critical importance in Indian economy. Export growth has become main determinant of economic growth. With the increasing requirements of imports, exports have now emerged as the only viable source of meeting the foreign exchange needs. Government of India has provided various incentives for export promotion. Export promotion policy include 1. Policies for increasing investment and production in export sector. 2. Price support measures for rendering exports more competitive. And 3. Measures for strengthening market effort by the export sector. There have been relaxations in Industrial Licensing Policy (MRTP), Foreign Exchange Regulation, foreign collaboration to increase the flow of production and investment resources into the export sector. Apart from the provisions made for liberal import of capital goods, export processing zones, export-oriented units have been given completely license-free and duty-free import facilities for all production inputs. Duty-free license schemes have been granted to the registered exporters for supplies of adequate quantities of material inputs required for export. Export House, Trading House, Star Trading House, and Superstar Trading House have been given special facilities to promote the export business.